Today we are going to start with the fifth chapter in psychology, that is stress and health. So why do we need to study stress and health related to it? Because in today's world there will be hardly any individual who has not experienced stress or tension. We know that stress has become an integral part of our daily life, and because of this stress we have many health problems. It can be physical, cognitive or behavioral health problem. And why does this health problem arises because of stress? Because individual is not able to cope up with it, the individual is not capable to deal with it, and because of that stressful situation he suffers from various kinds of physical or psychological disorder. And what could it be? Like depression, mania, stupor, etc. And he suffers many problems like heart ailments, diabetes, ulcer, brain damage, blood pressure, etc. So all these problems is caused by stress, and not just stress, but because the individual is not able to deal with that, is not capable to cope with the stress, and the stress creates all these problems. Okay, and if we want to live happily, if we want to live a mentally healthy life, we need to change our lifestyle and habits. And thus also, to fight against stress, individuals should give importance to balanced diet, time management, exercise, music, and the most important is yoga and meditation. So in this section of health we will understand all these things, that is how we can cope up with the stress and how we can improve our mental health. Okay, so now let's start with the meaning of the stress, that is the definition and the nature of the stress. So as you can see, stress is purely a scientific word. It is said that stress is a scientific word. And why it is said so? Because as per engineering, it means external force directed on physical object or substance. That is, any external force, that is a force coming from outside, that is directed, that is like implied to a physical substance or an object, is called as stress. And now this definition we will apply in the psychological context. So what does stress means is external stimulus that tries to bring change. So anything that is we get from outside, the stimulus we get from outside, and that tries to bring the change, that changes the equilibrium of our mental state, thus it is known as stress. Okay, so according to biologists and medical sciences, it says that stress is physical, psychological or impulsive factor which makes an individual feel physical or mental stress. So according to biologists and medical sciences, stress could be physical, it could be psychological, or it could be any impulsive factor which creates physical or mental stress for an individual. Okay, so anything which is physical, psychological, or it may be impulsive factor, but it creates an individual to feel physical or mental stress, is known as stress. Okay, so from the above meaning we can deduce that stress is an external event or stimulus which produces tension or strain. So anything that is directed from outside, which is an external event or which is an external stimulus which produces tension or pressure on individual, is known as stress. Okay, so let's have various definitions regarding stress. So first of all, first definition is stress means disappointment, conflict or pressure which arises a challenging situation for the individual's physical and mental energy. So according to this definition, stress means any disappointment, conflict or pressure. So what is conflict? Conflict means you have two option or two or more option from which you have to select one, but you are not able to do so, and that creates conflict. Okay, so if you have disappointment, conflict or pressure, and such things are creating challenge for your physical and mental energy, then it is called as stress. Okay, then according to the next definition, what is stress? Stress is the pattern of response an organism makes to stimulus or situation that disturbs the equilibrium and exceeds person's ability to cope. Okay, so over here in this definition, stress is termed in a way of response, that is how an individual responds to a stimulus or an event, to a stimulus or a situation which disturbs the equilibrium, which disturbs the balance, and which is that situation is more than a person's ability to cope. Okay, so the way of responding to a situation or stimulus which has disturbed the equilibrium and which is more than the person's ability to cope is known as stress. Okay. Then according to the next definition, stress means extreme experience which are there for a long time and are also challenging, associated with impulsive behavior or bodily changes. So according to this definition, stress means extreme experience, which means the experience which is extreme and which has been there for the long period of time. You are experiencing some extreme thing and which is for the long period of time, and also that experience is challenging and it is impulsive, which results into impulsive behavior and bodily changes. So if an extreme experience is there for the long period of time which is challenging, and it is, if it that challenging experience is associated with an impulsive behavior or impulsive bodily changes, then it is termed as stress. Okay. So from the above definition we can say that anything external, that is external event or stimulus which produce strain or tension, is known as stress. Okay. Now this stress can be negative or it can be positive. Okay. But if there is negative stress, then it creates an imbalance in our physical mental abilities. So, and if stress is positive, then it may result into new way of thinking or alternative resources, or we can be a little more creative because of the stress if that is positive. Okay. So stressful situation gives rise to fight or flight reaction processes in the individual, which raises the level of cortisol of adrenal secretion in the body. So what do stressful situation gives us? It gives us fight or flight reaction. There are three type of reactions that our mind generates, that is fight, flight and freeze. Okay. So there are three F's that our mind responds is fight, flight and freeze. So what happens in fight is, if there is a situation that comes to you, then you will fight for that. For example, if a ball is thrown against you, you will push that ball. So that reactionary process was your fight one. Then if a ball is thrown at you, you bend downwards or you back away from the ball, that type of reaction is known as flight, means you are running away. And the third type of reaction is known as freeze one. That is, if a ball is thrown at you, you will neither back away or you will neither push the ball, you will just stand over there. That reaction is known as freeze. So in stressful situation, there are two types of reaction that your mind generates, that is fight or flight. There is no freeze option available for the stressful situation. Okay. And why this type of reaction is generated? Because of the cortisol of adrenal secretion. Cortisol is a type of hormone that is secreted by our adrenal glands. Okay. So we know sometimes we have heard that adrenal rush. So this is because of the cortisol, that is the hormone that is released by our adrenal glands. Okay. So stress experienced for short time makes a person active and alert, whereas long-term stress has adverse effect on health and of an individual. So it is said that if stress is experienced for a short period of time, then it can make a person alert and active. Okay. But if stress goes on for a long period of time, then it becomes harmful and it affects the health of an individual. Okay. An individual cannot control stress but can definitely choose how to react it. And we know that stress is an external stimulus or a situation. So individual cannot control that. He cannot control the stimulus or the situation, but he can control how to react to that situation. He can control his behavior. Okay. So this was the meaning and the definition of this stress. Let's move on to the nature of this stress. So the first one is, there are three types of stress: depression, conflict and pressure. These three are in decreasing order. So if you experience stress, first of all you feel pressure, and if it goes for a little bit of more time, then it results into conflict, which means you have to choose between two options but you are not able to do so. And if the stress is prolonged, if the stress is for long time, it may result into depression also. So the stress are of three types, that is depression, conflict and pressure. Then the next one is degree of stress is dependent on many factors. Okay, so the intensity of the stress, that is the stress would be more or less, is dependent on many factors, like how the challenging situation is, how an individual can make an adjustment, its characteristics, or the resources that individual possesses. So all these factors, because of these factors, the degree of stress can be analyzed. Okay, and because of that, the degree of stress can be different, like for some it could be more and for some it could be less. Okay, then the third one is effect of stress is specific. So the effect that we get from the stress is specific. For example, in a particular situation, a person would feel more stress and the other person would feel less stress. Why? Because of the factors that were responsible for the stress, because of the characteristics how an individual can cope up. So if A is not able to cope up with the situation very well, then he would feel more stress, and if B is able to cope up with the stress, the stressful situation, he would feel less stress. So the stress is specific to an individual. Okay, then the fourth one is sometimes reason of stress are unknown. Sometimes it happens we are not able to analyze from what the stress has been generated. It could be because of anger, or we are having a suppressed feeling, or we have any motivation or anything. We are not able to judge, but we feel stress. So this can happen in stress. That is stress. That is the reason for the stress can be unknown. Okay. Then the next one is one has to pay price to face stress. Like what type of price we have to pay? That is, individual has to compromise with its strength, tools, or time. So if an individual faces stress, then he has to compromise his strength, because while facing stress we lose our energy, and so we lose our strength to an extent. Also we lose our time, that is in a particular happy situation we can do a task in 5 minutes, but if we are stressed, then it may happen we would take 10 minutes to do the same task. So we lose our time. Also we have to make many adjustments or sacrifices because of this stress. So we have to pay price for the stress. Okay, then the next one is stress decreases the competence of an individual. So we know that if a person is in stressful situation, if that is a positive stress, that is if it's for a short period of time, we can have that a person can become active or alert. But if it is for long period of time, then it decreases the competences. Why? Because the individual experiences problems in perception, cognition, thinking is obstructed, lack of understanding. So the response also becomes stagnant and limited. So because we cannot have proper perception, we cannot think properly, our thinking is obstructed, and also we lack understanding because of the stress, and in this situation our response becomes limited or it becomes rigid. Okay, and also because of this stress individual cannot solve problem, and thus he exhibits rigid behavior. So because of stress, that we can see decrease in the competency of an individual. Okay, then the last one is stress can also have positive effect. So we know that if the stress is for short period of time, it can make person active, it can make a person alert, and also to cope with that stressful situation, individual can think of new ways, he can make alternative resources, and also he can find out new creative or constructive solutions. So in a way stress can be positive also. Okay, so this were the meaning and the nature of the stress. Okay.